Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Gwen Gervasio, and today we're going to be covering chapters 1.2, adding integers. Don't forget for your notes, you always should have a date for your note, a lesson number. Today is going to be 1.2. Highlight it, and then the title of our lesson today, which is adding integers. All right, let's go ahead and begin with some vocabulary. I would like for you to go ahead and jot down this vocabulary you see right here at the top. So we're going to have here where it says adding integers with the same sign. So if you want, you can underline what I just did. So when you're adding integers the same sign, it says add the absolute values of those integers, then use the common sign. So I have here two examples. I have one that is a positive 2 plus a positive 5. The signs are the same. And I have here a negative 2 plus a negative 5, and those signs are the same. So these are the negative numbers, and these are the positive numbers. Notice that when you have the same signs, so a positive 2 plus a positive 5, you get a positive 7. Again, if you have a negative 2 plus a negative 5, you get a negative 7. So when you have the same signs and you're adding, you just add the numbers and carry that sign. So this is a little bit, if you don't want to copy down this part right here where it says words, you can copy down my short definition. I usually like this one better, so this is going to be a better short version. You can say, if the signs are the same, you add and carry the sign. So you add the numbers and carry the sign that it has. Okay, so if you want, you can go ahead and pause this, copy down the notes on this page, or you can move on if you're ready. All right, so for our first example, let me go ahead and copy this really quick. For our first example, we're going to go ahead and solve this problem. It says here, uh, find negative 2 plus negative 4. So again, if the signs are the same, it says if the signs are the same, so we both have a negative and a negative. And this is for adding, everybody, so make sure you remember this is for adding. If the signs are the same, you add and carry the sign. So I can add 2 and 4 in my head, which is 6. So we're going to carry the sign that they both have in common, which is a negative. So we'll put here a negative. So the answer is negative 6. So we'll use that as our answer. It's like saying we have negative 2 apples and we have a negative 4 apples. So that's going to be a negative 6 apples. All right, so for your on your own, don't forget, every time you do your on your own, you need to take out a piece of paper. So don't do this in your notebook, but do this on a separate sheet of paper. Go ahead and title this this homework page as 1.2 homework on your own, and don't forget the name and the date. So go ahead and take a few minutes to do this. If you need more time, pause the video before you move on to do problems 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so for our next one, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about adding integers with different signs. So we're going to add integers, but this time with different signs. So you can use or choose to write down the words here, the definition I have right here, or if you don't like this definition that I'm going to put it in a rectangle, then you can always use the one I'm going to underline under here. So for this particular example, it says if the signs are different, you're going to subtract and carry the sign of the greater number. So I have here 8 is a positive, negative 10 is a negative. They have different signs. One's a positive and one's a negative. If the signs are different, you subtract. And when you subtract, you usually subtract and always subtract the number that's bigger. So 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. And it says subtract and carry the sign of the greater number. Which one, if you think about numbers, is a greater number, 8 or 10? Now, don't worry about the signs. We're just going to look at the number. If you think about the number, 10 is a bigger number, and it has a negative. So since it has a negative, the bigger number tells you, or the greater number tells you the sign. So the answer is negative 2, and that's how they have negative 2. Let's look at our next example. For our next example, it says negative 13 plus 17. Again, the signs are different. So if the signs are different, it says subtract. So we're going to subtract 17 from 13. Always subtract the big number from the small number. And 17 subtract 13 is 4. And if I look at the numbers, negative 13 and 17, in terms of number, don't worry about the sign. Which number is bigger? 17. Since 17 is bigger, it's a positive, so I'm going to put here the answer is positive 4. So this is the example when the signs are different when you're adding. So go ahead and press pause or replay if you need to go ahead and replay this again if you didn't understand the example. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part, which is the additive inverse part. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. This is something different now. So for the additive inverse, what we're going to do is it says here, if you have a number and that number has an opposite, that's going to give you an additive inverse, and the answer will always be 0. So take a look at the examples they have. They have here a number and its opposite, -6. If you add them together, you will always get 0. It's like saying you have $6. You spent $6. You don't have any more money. It's like saying you owe the bank -$25. Your mom gives you $25. Now you don't owe the bank any. So it's the number and its opposite added together will give you 0. So here's an algebraic formula if you would like to write that down. So go ahead and look through this. If there's anything you didn't understand, please press replay to watch this part over. So in this page, we're talking about adding different signs and adding the adding inverse property. Okay, now I'd like for you to go ahead and solve with me example 2, A, B, and C. So when we do examples, don't forget you need to write them down as I do them as well. So I'm going to look to see if the signs are the same because I learned 2 things so far, same signs and different signs. So if the signs are the same, I'm going to add them and carry the sign. If the signs are different, I'm not going to add them. So if I look here, I don't see any of it with the same signs. They're all different signs. Oops, that was the other one. That's right. So they're all different signs. One's positive, one's a negative, one's positive, one's negative, one negative, one positive. So if the signs are different, we're going to take the big number and subtract it from the small number. We're going to take the big number, subtract it from the small number. We're going to take the big number, subtract it from the small number. And then we're going to go back. So 10 minus 5 is going to be 5. But since the bigger number right here, -10, or 10 is a negative, it's going to be a -5. Again, we don't worry about the signs when we're looking at the comparison. We just look to see which number is bigger, and that bigger number tells you the sign. It's like saying the bigger number is bossy and it's telling you what to do and telling you what sign to use. So I'm going to see which number is bigger. 7 is bigger. Since 7 is bigger, it's the boss. It's going to tell me to put a positive 4. Because 7 minus 3 is 4. Then when you get to this one, this is actually going to be 0 because we have a number and its opposite. So that's going to be called, anybody remember? If you guessed it, additive inverse. So this is going to be the additive inverse is 0. Okay, so those are examples 1 and 2. Again, 1 is going to be with the same signs, and 2 was going to be the one with different signs. So if you can go ahead and make sure you write that down. Okay, example 3, we're going to go ahead and combine our different signs and our same signs and now do a story problem. So for this one, it says here there's a list that shows 4 banks. 4 bank accounts for somebody who spent money in or a transaction in July. And it says here we want to find the change C in the account. So we're basically going to figure out how much money they really have after all this. So withdraw means they're going to take out money. So we have a $40. Then deposit means they're going to put in money. So that's going to be a positive amount put in. So positive. They are now also going to put in more money, so it must mean they maybe got paid or something. So we're going to put in more money. But then now they're going to do a withdraw. Maybe they had to go buy dinner. So withdraw means 50. Now to do this, we're going to do this 2 at a time from left to right. So we can say a -40 plus 50. Since the signs are different, I'm going to go ahead and subtract that. So I know 50 minus 40, I can do that in my head, which is 10. And since the bigger number right here is 50, it's going to be a positive 10. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. Again, you can't do this all at once, so I'll do it from left to right. 10 plus 75 is going to be 85, so I'm going to put 85. Bring down my sign. Then 85 minus 50, once I solve that, that's going to give me the total that this person has in their bank account. So the answer is going to be C, let me extend the page, C equals 35. And that's how you solve for integers with the same signs and different signs. All right, on your own, on the same page that you did your 1 through 3, I would like for you to do problems 4, 5, and 6, and 7. So go ahead and take some time to pause this video to do this portion, and then go ahead and press play when you're ready. Okay, exit ticket. Again, if you don't see the exit ticket as a quiz or you don't see a quiz pop up, then go ahead and just do this on the piece of paper. So this exit ticket should be on your homework as well. Go ahead and include it for the on your own portion. And then tomorrow we're going to go ahead and create the on your own and the exit ticket and discuss the questions that you have. So make sure you jot down any questions you have from this lesson and we will talk about it tomorrow. Okay, so as a reminder, homework will be video notes and the on your own and the exit ticket from this lesson. I will talk to you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.